but I think it was the day before. No, it was yesterday. It was yesterday. The new Hellraiser trailer hit the interwebs.
And I
I
broke my
saw it.
trailer rule.
Yeah. I saw it. I thought it was very interesting. I liked your reaction when you watched it because I got to watch his reaction to it. And you at the end of it, you're just like, well, it's not total shit. And I'm like, yeah. Exactly.
My only fear is that they're not going to be as smart as Clive Barker was and try to do too much with it. Just don't try to do
Yeah.
too much with something that's already on a certain end of the spectrum.
I'm not I will expect mid tier to on the precipice of maybe considering top tier of the actual costumes of the Cenobites and stuff because for the average person, that is not you and me. For the average person, when you say Hellraiser, you either only know Pinhead if you're, lucky, or if you're a little bit more cultured, you'll know at least the Cenobites. Those are really the only two things I think people really remember.
And you're probably going to know Chatterbox out of any of the other Cenobites.
So I imagine that they will focus a lot of the coolness on them, but the actual kill and gore effects, I don't think it's going to be as intense, and I don't think it's Hulu. Well, Hulu's putting it out. Who the fuck made it? I don't. Is it Blumhouse? I'm not entirely sure, but
Let me double check. I think. I mean, everything's Bloomhouse, right? So we
right.
just should assume it is.
And it's Hulu. More. Who
Uh,
the
let's
fuck
see.
made it?
Distributed by Entertainment Film Distributors. Well, that sounds as generic as. Is this Italian?
An Italian tax write-off.
Production company is Film Futures. Never heard of them.
Interesting. Um.
nope.
Oh no.
I was like, was it New World Pictures in their newest form? Roger Corman's studio? Because that would actually track, but it's not.
Oh. I have to say though, I heard that the new Pinhead was going to be played by a female actress, which is fine. I don't give a shit about that. But I was curious about it. I'm like, how's this going to look? And I saw her, and I liked it. I actually did not like the way that she talked because she actually kind of talks like a fucked up Doug Bradley almost.
It the sound effect of the voice reminded me of. It's just a little fucked up, so pardon me. Remember in Day of the Dead when the dude got his head pulled off and his vocal cords stretched? That first pull
It's very specific.
is very specific, but it reminded me of something that would track with that character. It wasn't. I don't think she was necessarily trying to pull a Doug Bradley. It was just
Yeah,
how would an androgynous Cenobite sound, and that
it
was what came out.
yeah, it wasn't even her voice. It was they definitely heavily affected the shit out of that sound. Um, I almost like now seeing what she looks like. Now I don't know if like they were specifically trying not to do this for one reason or another. Maybe it's just whatever, but um I'm a little well, to be fair, I'm a little not up to date on my actual demons and demon names and stuff and whether or not shit's real or not or just from a video game. um but the female demon Lilith, right? Like, I mean, I know at least that shit's gonna be in Diablo 4. I don't know if that's a real fucking thing. I know Beelzebub is, and that's in fucking Diablo. But anyway, but the female demon, like, kind of like give her an actual female voice, and plus, like, with what we know about Hellraiser and the seduction and the lust, like, it would have, I thought, work played hand in hand. Instead, you're giving her like this creepy voice where even Doug Bradley didn't have an effect on his voice. Like He sounded very sophisticated because you wanted to hear what he said.
I'm gonna try not to. I'm gonna skirt the line here. In the book, the Cenobites are supposed to be sexless,
Okay.
although she is very clearly a she in some of that get up that she's got going on.
Almost kind of
Uh,
like had a Borg Queen look almost.
yeah, it was almost dare I say centerfold Cenobite.
Sports Illustrated.
I I was trying to work up to that joke and completely about derailed it there at the beginning, but at least we got to the finish together.
No. It looks interesting. I'll definitely check it out. I'm a lot more interested in it now than I was just when I heard about the idea. Um, but it looks interesting. I'm the trailer looked like it had the right level of cheese. You know what I mean? And so I'm hoping that that's what it is. Playboy Minute.
Thank you.
The thing that really excited me though, more than anything, was seeing Leviathan and the labyrinth. I was just like, shut the fuck. This is exactly. I think watching those like first 6 or so Hellraiser movies, that might have been like one of the first fucking things we ever did. And that was some of my favorite shit. Now, the only other thing, like there was that building in the trailer, and I'm wondering if that's supposed to be like that cool building and like what that they came back to. That I was like, I hope they go back to that. And they
It might have
eventually,
been.
I wonder if it was some sort of play off of that. Probably not. That might be a bit of a stretch, but the fuck they showed Leviathan, so I'm okay.
Again, if they are going to combine Hellbound and the original, they better do us justice. But seeing Leviathan in its proper form is it's a good sign.
Now, uh, I've stated I didn't really care much for the affected voice. I'm looking more for it. Yeah, me too. I didn't so much like the voice. Now, there's no reason to indicate this. This is all just fearful thinking in my head.
Sure.
There's one thing that I saw, two elements that if you wrote it in a certain way could cause something. And I really hope they don't go that route because I'm really fucking tired of seeing it. Like in the movies that it's in, it kind of works. Sometimes it doesn't. But I think we need to be over this fad now. But the Cenobites they didn't look bad. I'm not complaining about their look. But the original Cenobites, they all had very distinct looks. This one, they look very much more uniform. Maybe a few different flares here and there, but the general same look. I'm hoping that at some point that there isn't a scene where they have to destroy Leviathan, and when it destroys that, all the Cenobites are like droids and just kick off.
I've got the feeling that the trailer didn't show the money shot. That
Yeah.
the Cenobites, where I think maybe they do have a little bit more individuality to them, and they just didn't want to give away the gambit already because everybody knows that that's watching the trailer, they're there for the. How is Pinhead going to look? Because in the novel, in the novel, it was just another Cenobite. It really wasn't a leader. I think it was called the priest too. But it's a teaser, so don't want to give too much away because your first introduction to one of these secondary Cenobites could be something as horrific as, the vagina neck, going out and.
I was fine with that one. The one that I thought was a little ridiculous was the one that was shooting the CDs in the third one.
We have a lot of problems with movies that are part threes in this. Yours
Yeah.
is Silent Night, Deadly Night, and mine is Hellraiser 3. And mine will continue to be Hellraiser 3 because I cannot for the life of me figure it out.